You already create amazing renders with Enscape, but what if you could take them even further? What if your renders did not only look real, but felt real? Look, as architects and designers, we're not just drafting plans and arranging spaces. Every project, whether it's a cozy home or like a massive skyline, it's about more than just a structure. It's about creating an experience, evoking an emotion, and making people feel something when they step into a space. Your designs, they're not just blueprints, they're stories. They connect with clients, they sell ideas, and they bring your visions to life in a way that truly resonates. And that is where Chaos Envision comes in. It's not just another rendering tool, it's the next level of visual storytelling. And today I will show you how to bring your projects to life with movement, with animation, and with dynamic environments in just a few clicks. Let's talk about the game-changing features that makes Envision truly stand out. If it's the first time that you open Envision, you will end up on this home screen, which is basically a generic introduction. You'll see here on the top, we have all of the main toolbars. Top right is the controls for interactive frames per second and also the resolution scales. And at the bottom right here is the dock, where we're going to be using actually quite frequently. So I'll explain to that a little later on. Next up, side panels. Moving on to the side panels. Top left are the variations. Here you can create and edit all your scenes, all your environment variations. You can also set up different camera angles that you can save and store in the camera panels. On the bottom left is the object panel. This is where you get the list of all of your objects that appear in your project. Now that we got that covered, let's jump into the juicy part. All right, first things first, getting your Enscape project into Envision. And honestly, it is ridiculously easy. Let me show you. Just export your scene as a V-Ray scene. So when you're in the Enscape tab, click here on V-Ray, open Envision, go to File, and here in Import, you need to click on Link. Now here you can see it's been blurred out. So for that, you just need to click first on New. And from there on, when you go back to File, Import, you can see here, you can link and embed your scene. We're going to use a scene that was provided by Chaos. So first of all, we're going to import the building. And there you go. Your entire project loads instantly. Materials, entourage, and lighting all intact. Now, the best part is any changes you make in your CAD software, this can be updated without losing your work. So we've imported our building. That's a great first step, but we're missing context. So to do that, we're going to import our context scene. The approach is exactly the same. File, import, context, and import. Now, if I zoom out, you can see all the surrounding buildings have popped in, giving us this really full context of the project. One of the best things about Envision is how well it really handles large projects. I've linked multiple files here, added tons of elements, and there's actually no lag. Everything still runs smoothly. There's no crashes, no delays. Performance is still the same. What we can do as well to make sure that everything again runs really smoothly is toggle elements on and off with just a single click. Let's assume that I don't need certain like office buildings right there. All I need to do is to hide them. So here you go on this section here with the little eye, you can see here how my building suddenly disappears. This will really help to keep things running smoothly. Now, if your render is looking a little bit blurry or pixelated, it's not sharp as it should be, this is probably a resolution issue. If you're a render, all you need to do is to head up to the resolution settings, which is right here at the top, and boost this up. Like that, that will help to have a much sharper quality. And you can see now how elements are becoming much sharper and crisp. So let's start by adding some details to the scene. First, we'll jump into the Chaos Cosmos library. This is actually where you find tons of ready-to-use materials and 3D models. So for that, as you might have seen previously, you just click right here on the arrow, a window opens, and you have a full selection of objects, vegetation. Now, I want to add a person right here. In this little square, you can actually enable if you only want animated assets to be displayed. So we'll have a look at that afterwards. But right now, okay, let's say I want to import this girl on her bike. Just simply drag and drop right into your scene. And it is so easy, just as it is easy to also move the object. So when you click on the object here, you can either click on it, or if the 3 arrows don't appear, you can just choose from the toolbar with these 4 arrows, or on your keyboard type W, And with the green arrow, you can move your object from right to left. With the blue arrow, you can bring it up and down. Another very cool feature is that you can experiment with different scene variations and show multiple options instantly. You can adjust the lighting, you can edit the materials that we assigned in Enscape. In the panel on the right-hand side, you can completely recustomize your car in just a few clicks. Like right now, my car is black and I can instantly switch the materials, the glossiness, the roughness. I can change and add bump maps. Click on base color, amend your color, and your car has become red. I can adjust the glossiness, make it more of a matte car. So here I adjust the roughness. We now have a very matte car. In a single click, you can also change the lighting or the time of day. In environment, sun, you have this tab here, which will allow you to adjust the time of day, create a smooth transition from morning to golden hour. So now client presentations just got way easier with Envision's variations. All right, now that everything's set, the only thing left to do is render and export. All we have to do is head up to render, select the camera view that you want to export. You can adjust a few settings. Most of it is already pre-configured. I would just change here in terms of render quality, set it up to ultra. Make sure to keep the denoiser on. Choose PNG as the file format and then save it in the folder that you want on your computer. Hit start. And in just a few seconds, it's done. Now let's open it full screen and check out the result. That render took maybe 15 seconds and the quality is insanely good. This is easily one of the cleanest, fastest exports I've seen. Honestly, that led to zero hassle, just high quality input. I am so impressed. Look at that. Look at the details that we have here. Of course, a space feels empty without people, and that's where Anima Crowd comes in. Click on the Anima Crowd icon in the toolbar and select a surface. For that, we're going to create a path. Once you've clicked on Anima Crowd, on the right-hand side panel, select Create Path. Select where you want them to walk, drag a simple path. Now let's add some characters. Make sure to tick the box animated to have animated, and then just simply drag and drop some characters onto the right panel. And click generate. And now your scene actually feels alive. And if you ever need to adjust the movement, you can easily tweak the path settings. Now your scene has dynamic lifelike motion, and watch how people interact naturally within your design. Static images are great, but adding camera animation, that's what really makes your design feel alive. With Envision's built-in camera tools, creating a smooth cinematic shots is actually really easy and can be done again in just a few clicks. Now we're going to create some camera animation. To do that, first thing we go into this window and we select here the little circle, which is the animation icon. And this opens up the animation timeline. We're going to go here in this tab on the top left, select camera and import. So just drag and drop your scene and drop it into the timeline. So right now you can see we have a slider right on the top here. And if we set it up at 0 and just press on play, pretty much nothing's happening apart from seeing the animated crowd moving. There's no cinematic animation. And this is actually really easy. Here you can see the keyframe, which is this tiny little blue triangle. This is exactly what will kind of capture how your camera moves. To create some camera animation, simply move the camera to the desired position at the end of the clip. And then here you can see a new keyframe that has been automatically added. Now, if I move my slider right here, you can see how my camera movement will be. Now you can press on play and you can see exactly the end result. Assuming that you think your camera is moving too fast, you just need to drag out that timeline and just make sure to click again on the keyframe and drag it to where you would want the end position to be. And now your scene will move much slower. So these are just the premises of what you could do really with a cinematic animation in Envision. You can really go a stretch further by creating a depth of field effect. So for example, if you want to focus on the object closest to the camera, this can be done also through a keyframe. You can create subtle cinematic techniques that will help you present your designs in a more exciting and compelling way. So is Chaos Envision a game changer? So from what I've seen, Absolutely. It takes everything that I love about realistic rendering and it just pushes it one step further. I've been testing it out for the past few weeks and honestly, I'm really excited about what's to come. It's still in beta, so I'm expecting even more improvements along the way. So this is really something that I'm definitely going to keep in my workflow and it has so much potential. If you want to test out Envision for yourself, there is a link right below. And I would like to thank Chaos Envision for sponsoring this video. And now I would love to hear from you. Is Envision something that you would like to integrate into your workflow? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, just drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.